Welcome back. It's that hour of the clock as we are about to start with the second session for the day.
Success social responsibility to make the world a better place and not just take from it.
Our next speaker is as successful as a social entrepreneur and of the opinion that in order to bring social prosperity, it is extremely necessary to change the mindset of people.
Priya Gupta is the founder of an NGO titled Foundation, which aims at building a community of women, promoting women entrepreneurship and sustainability, along with a focus on girl child education.
With the motto of Pahal Ek Nayi Soch, the NGO motivates the youth to take action and implement them at the very start of their life. Apart from this, what highlights her sensational career is that she, along with her team, have reached the finals of Harvard US India Initiative Ignite Challenge.
Prime yourselves. Priya Gupta will take off our plane, which is destined at transforming leadership CSR and sustainability in the 21st century.
I hand over this platform to you, ma'am.
Thank you so much, Vatsal and Rutsi. And namaste and welcome everyone. I honor you for taking out your precious time so that we can, experience this learning process. First of all, I would like to thank IEEE and the Inspiro team for inviting me so that I can speak about transforming leadership in CSR and sustainability in 21st century. I'm glad that I'm able to discuss my views and experiences with all of you. And a very important note to everyone here, hearing me interact. Okay, so in this session, I'm not going to show any PPT. I'm not going to show any other PDF or something like that, because I really want to know what's there into your mind. What are your views and opinions related to the topic? So when I speak about this topic, I want you to express your opinions into the chat box and comments. And yes, I would love to hear and know your experiences. So yeah, let's begin. So basically, when we talk about social responsibility or corporate social responsibility, right? Or transforming leadership in corporate social responsibility, we can begin with imagining a scenario in which there are two families, family A and family B. In family A, the parents teach their children about the moral values and the ethical values. In family B, they teach their children about compensation and why is it necessary for them to follow certain rules and regulations so that they cannot be punished. So just imagine yourself as one of the parent in family A. And let's take an example of blood donation camp. So if you're a father or a mother and telling your children that if you donate blood, this is going to save someone's life. And hence, this is a moral value, right? On the other hand, family B, just imagine yourself as mother or father of family B. And you tell your children, if you donate blood, you will get money first. And second, you will get recognition and you will, be noticed in your peers, in your friends, in your company, in your family. Okay. So there are two kind of families I have just introduced you. In what kind of family would you like to stay? With what kind of family would you like to become friends with or become a neighborhood with? So I want you to answer your opinions in the comment section so that I can, proceed further with this webinar. So what kind of family do you see? And do you really feel that, okay, the family is focusing upon the moral values, the ethical values. On the other hand, the other family is focusing upon the transactional value. So yeah, I will not proceed until and unless I get the answer into the chat box. So yeah, kindly participate into the discussion, and I promise you this is going to be a fruitful discussion for all of you. So yeah, Abraham saying that this is family A in which he wants to stay, or Sundar is saying I would go for family A. Perfect. Now think about the other scenario. Okay, you have chosen family A. So this is something related to the personal lives, or you encounter these kind of families on your day-to-day basis. Either family A is something similar to your friend's family, or family B might be. Okay, now come back to the two topics, the morals and ethical values. Okay, so yeah, moral and ethical value. Now tell me the difference between what is morality and what are ethics. Or if you feel like morals and ethics are similar, then just say yes. If you think that morals and ethics are different, are two different terms, then say no. So, what do you think? Morals and ethics are similar, or these terms are something which should be differentiated? I'm waiting for your answers, guys. They are different. Great. And why is that different? Why morals and ethics are different? Ethics is individual and moral based on community. Sarthak is saying morals mainly focused on behaviors. So, guys, let's discuss about morals and ethical values, right? When we talk about certain rules and regulations which is followed by the whole society, for example, wearing a mask during the pandemic, these are ethics because you are following certain rules and conditions which are already implicit, followed by the whole society. On the other hand, your moral values are something which you get through your upbringing at an individual level. So, suppose you don't believe in killing someone, either I'm not only talking about human, I'm talking about either a goat, a chicken, or anybody else. You don't believe in the killing factor, that is Buddhism or Jainism. So, what is that? That is upbringing. Okay. And when we talk about the values which we get through our upbringing, through our own experiences, the whole transformation which we get because of that is moral. That is morality. Okay. So by differentiating the two terms, that is the morals and ethical values, I want you to know that in order to understand even a word or any technical jargon, it's very important to research. It's very important to get the appropriate knowledge. So in today's session, we are going to talk about the what, why, and how of transformational leadership in CSR and sustainability in the 21st century. Okay, so till now, you might have got, or if you haven't understand the term morals and ethics, Please write down your queries into the chat box. I'll get back to it. Second, let's come back to the family A and B. Everybody said that family A is somebody who is focusing on the morals and ethical values. Okay, so now we have understood that morals is something which we are getting through our own experiences and upbringing. Thus, the family is teaching the right, ways in which a child should behave. A child should get those values in order to become a better human. The parents are not restricting them. The parents are not restricting their child. They are not telling him that if you don't donate blood, we'll punish you. Right? Now, just think about family A and family B as corporates. Okay? Suppose there is a company A and company B, and you all are the CEOs. Okay? Just imagine yourself. This session is going to be a brainstorming session rather than just a speaking or a session in which a speaker is just going to speak and you're going to listen. I don't really believe in that. So please, guys, interact and whatever I'm asking, just imagine. Okay? If you're not able to understand something, just text into the comment box. Okay. Then come back to the topic, that is company A and company B. Company A, as a CEO of company A, what kind of moral values would you like to give to your employees about social responsibility? We'll come to the topic corporate social responsibility later into the session, because it's really important to understand for to understand the terms, that is the ethics, morals, as a CEO or as a parent, as a leader. Why is it so important to teach lessons related to social responsibility? Okay, so this is the what part of our session. What is social responsibility? What are corporates? Why are we thinking ourselves are as CEOs? So if we are CEOs, why are we actually thinking about social responsibility? Because as CEOs, we are responsible for maximizing the profits. Why are we actually doing it? Why do we think about social responsibility in 21st century? Why we were not at all focused about social responsibility in the 1950s and 60s? We were not awake, although it was very important at that point of time as well. Okay, so as a CEO, what kind of values do you think you should give to your employees? Okay, so let me break the ice and tell you that, okay, first, the employees should be responsible enough in the environment in which they are living in. Either it is the environment which is, accompanying into the business area or their residential area or anywhere else. Either it's a marketplace, right? So this is a very humanitarian value which the CEO can give to the employees, because we are responsible for our own steps and actions when we talk about responsibility with respect to the environment. Okay, so if we are the CEOs of family A, the values which we are incorporating in our employees is to respect and be responsible for the environment we are living in. Only then we can maximize the profit. Okay, and in family B, that is company B, if you are a CEO and you are just focusing upon the managerial action, that is the planning, organizing, staffing, directing, and controlling, and you are there to follow the system, that is the reward and recognition or reward or punishment. You are not incorporating a value of being a responsible employee or responsible citizen of the nation or a responsible human of the world. Then what can be the consequences? Can anyone tell me that in 21st century, if we are running a corporate like corporate B, what could be the consequences of such a scenario? I think it's very easy to imagine all of that. Why? Because when it comes to running a corporate like corporate B, especially after experiencing pandemic, it's going to be a blunder, right? So this was the what part, that what do you mean by corporate social responsibilities? What do you mean by the ethics and morals? What do you mean by running a company which is based upon the implicit moral values and which is based upon the transactional values only? Okay. Now let's come to the later part of the webinar, that is why. Why do you think ITC has given 250 crores for the CSR funding? Why do you think that Facebook has given in billions for the CSR activity, or basically for the COVID relief fund? So right now I'm just repeating the name of the big corporates or the multinational corporations. But when we think about the small or medium enterprises, even they invest into CSR. Okay. So why are they doing it? Guys, I want an answer. Why are they doing it? Are they doing it to improve the reputation they have into the market first? Second, to just show off and tell, okay, people, we are the responsible corporate, so you should buy our product. A third, they really want to do something better for the society. They really want to, you know, uh, contribute towards the betterment of the women, children, environment, and our sustainable development goals. Guys, I want an answer for that. Why are companies investing into CSR? Why are they are investing into crores of funds, especially for the COVID relief fund? Probably both points for them and society also. That's the right point. It is the pandemic and it's their responsibility to help the public during this tough and unprecedented times, and also they will do it for humanity. That's appropriate. See, the kind of answers I've got, it's about the transformational leadership. Okay. So if we talk about the time that we are facing, along with the unprecedented pandemic, the companies are focusing on both the transactional values and the transformation values. But the transformational values, that the morals and ethics, always are much bigger than the transactional values. So when we talk about the transactional values, we are only talking about the money. We are talking about uh, profit maximization, shareholders' values maximization only. Okay. But right now, it's an amalgamation of both the values. Okay. That is transformational, transactional leadership and corporate social responsibility. But again, there is a loophole. Okay. There is a drawback when we talk about transformational, transactional leadership and corporate social responsibility. And what is that loophole? I can tell you by my own experience that there are companies who are ready to invest in crores, especially into NGOs, but for their transactional value. That is, first, they want media to be involved into it. That is only publicity. And second, I have encountered a lot of companies who just show that they are investing in crores. On the other hand, they are asking me to return the money within 7 days, like return the whole money. They just want to show that amount, that 1 crore or 2 crore into their balance sheet. They don't want to invest for the society's good, for the wellness of the society. So this is a loophole. And this is a loophole not only from the companies or organizational side. There are NGOs, there are organizations who are actually not investing the money which they get as a form of CSR funding into the right place. They are not working onto the things which should be worked upon, that is our society, that is our environment, our sustainable development goals. And as a developing nation, we should be responsible enough for our environment. We should be responsible enough for our women. We should be responsible enough as a human. Are we doing it? No. Okay. So, like every coin has two faces, the loophole has two faces. Either the company is playing the game, or either the NGO or organization is playing the game. And why I telling you this is I don't really want the people either associated with me or not to become like that. Okay, to become the future CEOs like that, who only believes into their transactional value. Okay, who only believes into the money factor by exploiting masses. This is not right. Okay, these are the moral values which you get through your upbringing. Okay, these are the moral values which you get from your peers, through reading, through your own experiences. And this is a kind of awareness point which I would like to put in front of all of you, that this is something which actually belittles humanity. Okay, so even if you want to improve the profits, just look at Tata. Okay, the Tatas. They believe in actual corporate social responsibility, and they do it. They invest it wisely. Just look at the NGOs who are working, not only the NGOs, even at the individual level, the people who are actually working on something solid like women entrepreneurship or either the sustainable development. Okay. So the why factor was why corporates invest into CSR. I gave you the reason to maximize their profit, on the other hand, to improve the humanistic values. And it's always an amalgamation of both the transactional and the transformational value, especially into the capitalism which we are facing in 21st century. Okay, now come to the latter part of this webinar, that is how can we do it, how can we promote sustainability in 21st century, how can we promote transformation leadership in 21st century if you are just a student, if you are an employee, even if you are running your own organization or anybody else. Let's take my example. I would love to share my journey with you. So basically, as everybody has introduced me, like am known as a young social entrepreneur, and this is a very fancy term, I would say, because whatever I do is based upon the humanitarian value, right? Everybody should do it. Opening an NGO is another factor. You can do it if you want to, but as an individual and as a human, isn't it your responsibility to respect the environment? Isn't it your responsibility to respect the women out there who are actually sidelined and vulnerable? Isn't it your responsibility as a man, as a woman, as a transgender, to not segregate the society on the basis of gender, on the basis of caste, races? And if anybody is doing it, you should be aware enough to just stop it. Okay? How could you do it? So, if I give you my example, I started this NGO a couple of years back, and I did not have any idea that I would be called as a social entrepreneur or anybody who is young and doing it, because I never had thought of becoming an entrepreneur. Okay, this was just a sudden idea, or I would say a realization, which happened after a serious uh, issue which happened a couple of years ago in my life. So I just went through a surgery and I was on bed rest for 3 months. And in those months, I realized it's very important to do what you really want to do in your life when you have a sound body and mind. Okay? If you have a sound mind, you can do wonders. And then only when I got recovered, uh, I focused upon one thing that I really wanted to do since my childhood, that is to promote the women who are exploited, who are facing domestic violence in our society and our community. Because, as per my own experiences, personal experiences, I have been facing domestic violence since my childhood. So, yeah, this was my motive, to promote the women entrepreneurs, to promote sustainability along with it. So, even in the absence of resources, as I completed graduation a couple of years ago only, I had a little resources. I did not have a lot of people to work along with me, but I had one thing in my mind, that if I am doing it, I'm not only doing it for my own sake, I'm doing it for, improving the conditions of people of our community, improving the condition of my mother as well, because she is the one who had given me the courage to just, you know, work. If you are capable, just work, give your efforts, and don't expect the results. Results would be, amazing if you are just giving your 100%. So, since I was just a student, I did not have resources, I did not have a lot of things which people actually tell about in various seminars and webinars, that you need this, you need that to become an entrepreneur. I think no, you just need courage. You just need that kind of, not only passion, that love for your goal, that okay, this is something which can actually bring a change, and you can become a change maker. Okay, so when we talk about how of contributing towards the sustainability, so this was the how. See, if in the absence of resources, if in the absence of everything else which is needed to be an entrepreneur, if I can do it, why can't you? Why can't your friends? Why can't your family? Why can't a CEO of a company? He is having a hell lot of resources. Okay, so yeah, instead of glamorization, instead of showing off your bookshelves and onto the Instagrams or social medias, instead of talking about the things in which you don't have proper knowledge or research about laws and regulations, instead of talking about those things until and unless you have proper knowledge, just focus on becoming a better human. Just focus on becoming a person who actually bring another person up. Either you are in a company, either you are in a family or in a friends group. And I bet you are going to do wonders. This is a very simple solution I'm giving to all of you. I think this is not at all technical. You don't need a lot of technical skills to follow this. This is not mathematics. Okay? You just have to follow your rhythm, your moral values, your humanistic values, your humanitarian values. So this is how you can do it. Okay? Now, since we have talked about what, that is the transformational CSR and sustainability in 21st century. What is the meaning of these terms? We have understood it. Second, why Why do we do it? Why do companies do it? Why do individuals do invest in CSR? I think you have got the answer. And how? How can you do it? It's very simple. I'll give you the solution. In the end, not actually the end, but yeah, after having the understanding, a proper understanding about these important terms, sustainability. I'm emphasizing on sustainability. And the reason is we all have faced pandemic, and before that we have been sleeping. We should blame ourselves. We have actually degraded the environment. It's not only about using the polythenes, it's not only about using the carbon. Just think about future. If you have gone through the current scenarios, if you have gone through the current laws, rules and regulation, you might have known this fact that India has been warned as one of the developing countries to having stop, just stop the use of carbon, to stop the usage of coal, which is next to impossible because we are developing nation. We are the developing nations like Africa. Okay, India cannot actually stop using coal. India cannot actually stop using carbon. But what can we do it then? Like, how can we minimize the use of such things by 2030? This is our goal. So you are the change makers, you are the investors, you are the innovators who come up with ideas like the renewable energy, the wind energy, the solar energy, etc. Who come up with ideas so that we can reduce the consumption of coal, we can reduce the consumption of carbon slowly. Otherwise, telling you as per the facts, as per the statistics, if we actually are prohibited from using coal, then the India is not going to be a developed nation in the next 100 years. Okay, I'm talking about the economical terms, in economical terms. Okay, India is not going to be a developed nation in the next 100 years if we are going to follow the same thing that we have been following in the last 100 years almost. On the other hand, when we talk about societies, and when we talk about the cultural values, when we talk about the um, other values, political values, again, it's a shame on us. Why? Okay, we have talked about sustainability in terms of economy, but do you actually think that we practice sustainability when we talk about culture, when we talk about our politics? Okay, so how do you actually eliminate all those issues slowly? You can't really become a change maker, you can't really change these things until you dig deeper, research, get the knowledge, do something new, so that do something at least. Because in this information age, what youngsters are actually doing, what are you doing? You spend 5 to 6 hours on social medias daily on an average, as per the statistics. And on social media, what actual change are you making? Okay, using social media is good, but what actual change are you making? Ask yourself in perspective. Okay, ask yourself politically if you are giving any statement, either it's correct or not. If you're talking about patriarchy into the society, if you're talking about the rape victims, check your facts. Either it's correct or not. You got really angry when PUBG got restricted, okay, got banned, when TikTok got banned. But are you actually angry upon the real stuff which is happening in our society? Ask yourself. It's not about the age, it's not about the experience, it's about what you're actually facing. Either it's a 5-year-old child, either it's a 50-year-old woman or man. We all have been experiencing or are experiencing pandemic. What are you doing? So the purpose is to raise awareness. Introspect yourself. Introspect your friends. Stop doing it. Stop spending meaningless time on social media when you're not actually correct. Stop proving the things which you are not, you don't have full knowledge about. You might be wrong. You're not always perfect, which the social media shows like. Okay? Might be wrong. Introspect. So this is about the awareness which is needed on an individual level. Then only you can change your community, and then societies, and then states, and then countries, and then the whole world. Okay? So it's like Sundari is saying, these days news channels for the sake of TRP are also moving towards not so important cases instead. Yeah. See, now comes the blame system. We are facing media or the government. We are blaming them. We are blaming the media or the government policies. But don't you think partially we are responsible for it? Because we have paid enough attention to the petty things because of which media is showing wrong things for earning TRP. But again, the moral value comes into the picture. Media in India is only focusing upon the transactional values, that is TRP. Okay? And what we are doing? We are giving them the attention. We are giving them the actual meaningless point on which they can earn meaningless, handsome amount of money. Okay, then the next is what would be the pros and cons of sustainable development goals in the 21st century? This is a very good question, basically. See, when we talk about sustainable development goals, according to nations, it differs and it is very subjective according to the developed nations and the developing nation. So basically, when we talk about developing nation, for example, India, okay, there are pros and cons both. Like I always already mentioned, if we stop consuming coal by 2020, as we have got this legal penalty from Paris Agreement that if we continue using the coal for the next 5 to 10 years, we'll have to pay penalties. This is a serious matter. Why? Because as a developing nation, as a developing country, we can't really stop using coal or non-renewable energy sources like dung and things like that. Okay. So, yeah, these are the cons. Why these cons came into the picture is we have been sleeping from the last 50 to 100 years. We did not know how to use renewable energy and what is the importance of renewable energy. We have been using polythenes till 2020. We did not know how to use jute or how to use handloom products or handicraft or how to upcycle the product. We did not know anything before 2015. Okay, so again, for the cons, we are responsible. But basically, talking about the pros and cons, pros are always more than the cons of following the sustainable development goals. And those cons are something which should be eliminated through our own efforts, right? Because it's never too late to act on the good matters. So, yeah, there are pros for the following the sustainable development goals, basically. Then next is what thinking should the society change about gender discrimination or racism going around? See, I can speak a lot on this topic. Gender discrimination. Okay, when we talk about patriarchy, when we talk about gender, why do we talk about gender? Tell me one thing. Is it really a big matter to be discussed like sustainability? Is it really a big matter to be discussed like CSR? Why do we really segregate female, male, and transgenders? Because as per the capitalistic society, the capitalistic economies, we should be ashamed enough that in 2020 we are still using the word women empowerment, because capitalism needs the full investment of individual, the 100% investment of individual towards economic activities. So how come gender, caste, race comes into the picture, and thus there is no productivity or less productivity which we face in India? And this is one of the reasons that we are still not able to produce like China. If we would have not been doing this, not following the patriarchal mindset, not following these medieval things, we would have been at a better position to produce and manufacture and to become a manufacturing nation like China, or even better than that, because we have great minds in our country. Okay, basically, I can speak even more than that, but this is, I think, a suffice answer to this. So, yeah, just remove this kind of mindset from your own mindset, because in this capitalistic society, this is us who are going to invest into the the future of India, that is the manufacturing hub of the globe. Okay, so companies like Microsoft are targeting to be fully independent in terms of electrical energy. What can a youngster as an individual contribute more to meet some of these kinds of targets? See, Microsoft is an American company. And if you just go back and look at their history, they have got the independency in 1700s. Okay, in 1776, I guess. Okay, so they are far more advanced when it comes to using renewable energy. They are far more advanced when we talk about gender, when we talk about caste. Yeah, there is racism. Racism is everywhere. Discrimination is everywhere, right? It should not be. But they are at a better position than India, right? So, what can we actually do is, when there is Facebook, Microsoft, Google focusing upon the renewable energy factors, either we can follow the same suits at least to introduce the similar protocols into country like India. Okay, just go research upon the things that they're actually innovating about and incorporate the same in India. Introduce it. This is for our own good, right? Introduce it. Then slowly, when people get to know about various alternatives, we are bright minds enough to bring a more innovative option available to us when it comes to renewable energy. Okay. Okay. The next question is, according to United Nations SDGs, we are focusing on peace and prosperity till 2030. This will be only possible if companies will collaborate. Do you think that pandemic has affected the planning? Yes. When we talk about sustainable development goals, there is not only the peace and prosperity that we are looking for. We are looking for 16 major sustainable goals, which includes environment, race, gender, resources, everything. Okay, and by 3030, and it's almost 2021 on the way. And due to pandemic, we are actually lagging behind. Why? Because we were not aware about pandemic, although there were things that we have actually ignored about pandemic. We did not advance our medical institutions. We did not advance our technicalities in our country. Okay, because we have been the ignorant ones. So yes, pandemic has actually impacted, or I would say affected, the scenario or the situation of corporates, not only in India, but yeah, India has been at heart due to the fact that we are the developing nation. So yeah, pandemic has affected, and it would lead to, you know, increasing the years by like 2035 or 2040, because it will take at least 5 years to revamp it to become the one that we were into in 2019 at least. So improvement is on another stage. We just have to get back to the stable scenario. Yeah. Then the next question is how to keep and enhance the positive sustainability impact long term in a post pandemic world. See, how do we keep enhancing our uh, career? I'm just giving you an example. We think about growth, we think about a better life, we think about a better life for your family, your loved ones. In the same way, what I always suggest is you can't really think about the wellness or society's prosperity on a larger scale if you're not doing it at an individual level. Because at an individual level, when you incorporate a few things, like stop using carbon, stop using polythene, stop using things which are not environment friendly, then you start asking your friends, asking your family, asking your colleagues to stop using it. This is not good for us, all of us. This is a kind of awareness, that awareness minus mindset which is needed at an individual level, at a community level, and hence this goes to the nationwide level. So yeah, this is how you bring the positive sustainability in the long term in a post-pandemic world. That is all about the mindset. Yeah. So companies like Microsoft are targeting to be independent. Okay, I have already answered it. Yes. So basically, in this webinar, I talked about what what is the meaning of the terms that we have used, that is transforming leadership, CSR and sustainability in 21st century. Then why do we do it and how can we actually do it? I gave you my example as well. Okay. So how we are contributing towards the betterment of women and sustainability in our society. Let me just give you the protocol or the structure that we have followed to begin a change or to impact at a smaller level, because what I believe in is small steps and small changes lead to the larger and bigger impacts. So yeah, initially we did the awareness campaigns in rural areas, basically pan India. Okay, where we got to know that what are the major problems or issues which women are facing. As we got to know that they are not financially independent, but they are skilled enough, we made a platform, we made a marketplace for them so that women artisans can come, sell their product. We can introduce them as a woman entrepreneur, as an independent woman entrepreneur. From there, they can start their market of their own products. And yeah, there are buyers and sellers who are ready to buy their product. First, second, we got to know that it's very important to incorporate sustainability into our product. So we always recommend women to use the sustainable product such as jute, such as there are various handicrafts which you see in Jaipur, even in Northeast, which are which are based out of bamboo or made out of bamboo. So we always encourage them to use such product. Second, we encourage or we generally give awareness campaigns or awareness webinars or seminars or things like why should we use sustainable and what are the sustainable alternatives available to us. Okay, these are the program that we run under Sarvpriya Foundation, Women Entrepreneurship and Innovation Development. Okay, the marketplace, which we call Prakritik, is a segment of Sarvpriya Foundation. And third, as we all know, we all have gone through the anxiety, distress, and depression during pandemic. So there is a platform we introduced that is Detangling Thought. So this is for everybody, not only for women who can come up. We have we are a family. We have the ear to listen to your problems. If that is something related to medical issues, there are people who are psychiatrists who can help you out. And if you just want to share anonymously, you can come and share your problems with us. We're there to listen to you. And yeah, that is the Prakritik Marketplace, detangling thought for mental illness and the programs that we run. And in the end, that is Think Tank. I urge all of you to become and participate into the research that we do that is on voluntary basis related to women and sustainability. Okay, so what I believe is every individual's journey is different and unique in their own way. You can research upon those topics on your own and publish your white paper along with us. So there are organizations in collaboration with us. Okay, so this is about Sarvpriya Foundation. And why am I telling you is, as I told you about my journey, I've come this far, which is, I would say, nothing, but yeah, at least a little. If you start from today, you can do a little by little and then at a larger level. So yeah, this is a kind of encouragement that I wanted to share with all of you related to my journey. And yeah, rapid fire question is there: job or entrepreneurship? Entrepreneurship every time. Skydiving or scuba diving? Skydiving. Free traveler for life or free food for life? Free travel for life. Diving or scuba diving? I told you about this. Books or cooking? Books. So yeah. Last question I would entertain over here, and then we can just wrap up this webinar. That is, what is your thought upon developing water and air from windmills? Yes, so as per the research, the solar energy and wind energy is going to be the uh, major energies which are going to contribute towards India's renewable energy by 2030. So this is very rampant and going to be a success. So yeah, heads up on this. And on the other hand, I really feel that the things that we have talked about or discussed about in this webinar, you have learned. I have learned a lot from all of you guys. And if there is anything else you want to share or ask me, you can just go to our website, Sarvpriya Foundation, and I'll be in touch personally with you. And again, पहले एक नई सोच की. So yeah, start thinking good from this minute itself. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, ma'am. We hope our viewers will be able to create loops and bounds in this century for the betterment of humanity after this session.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Kushi.
So for the
On
participants, the feedback form is already circulated in the live chat and it's also provided in the description below. So to ensure active participation, feel free to check out the fill the feedback form and thus get registered for e-certificates.
Well, on behalf of IEEE ADIT Student Branch, we would present you a virtual memento for giving your time and sharing your wonderful thoughts with us.
Thank you so much, everyone. I'm glad to have received it. This is truly an honor. Thank you so much.
Now to the
Thank
participants,
you, ma'am.
don't forget to like, share and subscribe to IEEE ADIT Student Branch as well as ADIT CVM University for more such amazing and exciting events.
So with this, we come to the conclusion of our morning session of this exciting day too. So grab your evening snacks because we will join you sharply at 6 p.m. today. And so till then, we take your leave.